Begin with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that now says that 7 Kenyans have died from COVID-19 related health problems in the last 1 month in the US and in Sweden. Furthermore, hundreds are stranded in various parts of the world as a result of the curfews and the lockdowns in those places. PS Macharia Kamau also says that the humanitarian situation in Guangzhou, that's in China, will be resolved, adding that about 64 Kenyans are stranded in India. Our reporter Leila Mohammed listened to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, PS, for the details and now joins us live. Leila, what else did you hear apart from these facts that we have been contending with for the last few days?
Well, he spoke about various issues. First, he began with the presence of Kenya having a footprint in 54 countries officially, and many other more where we have consulates and where Kenya has a footprint internationally. He spoke of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs doing its very best to ensure that Kenyans across the globe, wherever they are taken care of. Mijungu, he was speaking of a country or a Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is in a dire situation. They are worried for their citizens across the globe. They are saying that Ministry of Foreign Affairs officials are working from home digitally, but the expectations on their shoulders is a bit too much for them to bear. And one of those expectations, Mijungu, was that for those Kenyans who have been affected, like in countries like India and China, to be evacuated home like we are seeing other countries doing in their own capacities. They are ruling out that and saying that this would be too much and it would be overwhelming by Kenya to do so. So before I continue with this conversation, let us listen into some of his highlights of the day.
Anyone who is clear-headed and thoughtful about the situation that we are facing in the world, this is not a Kenyan situation, but a situation that we are facing in the world, will recognize that it is simply impossible for us to be able to be as responsive as we would normally like to be. You know that Kenya is an exemplar on our continent. Many times we do send aircraft or help to our diaspora who are caught up in situations abroad. Remember the situation in Libya, for example. But you see, that was an incident where there was total chaos and a war was raging and planes could fly in and fly out. And so it was possible to consider that we had a small number of Kenyans who we could extract quickly and save their lives. But when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of people, then the proposition is completely different. We have to wait until this situation blows over. We have to wait until the lockdowns in the various countries end. This is something that we have to do. And our staff are under a lot of pressure, some of them facing life-threatening circumstances in the countries that they're in. And so it is important that somehow we continue to provide support for them and give them the kind of assistance and help that they need. Other than the situation regarding our staff, I would like to appeal to the diaspora around the world to continue to remain understanding of the situation and to continue to work closely with the ambassadors abroad, including with our staff, so as to try to give them to allow our staff to give them the best possible support they can under the circumstances that they're in.
Well, Mijungu, those 7 deaths are not just statistics for them. One of them has hit closer to home. This is the death of one of their colleagues in the Los Angeles office. And the lady is called Ruth Anyango Ogonda. This was a lady who had underlying conditions but suffered due to the COVID-19. This was 2 days ago. She has left behind 2 daughters who, according to the MFA, they are now orphaned after their father having died previously. They're saying that they will ensure the family stays put in Los Angeles until COVID-19 has been well taken care of. Kenya will be in touch with the family to give them all that they can, and this is one of the reasons why they were saying that it is important now for Kenyans to look back and relook their whole issues around burying their dead. They are now urging them, wherever you have your person die, please ensure that you engage with the government at hand so that you can bury them in those particular countries because of the curfews and some of the concerns that have been raised by various countries. Remember, Kenya has also closed off its airways, so no particular passenger plane is landing into the country, and thus they are asking those who have been affected to plan to bury accordingly where they are. They are saying that they have given a heads up to the ambassador to China, Sarah Serem, and according to them, she has done a spectacular job in ensuring that all Kenyans there are taken care of, considering that a majority of them are unregistered and could be considered illegal immigrants. So the underlying fact that I got from this press briefing today, Mijungu, is that the concerns by the Chinese authorities, and these are basically the counties, all the provincial, regional governments that had put across some of their concerns to avoid a resurgence of COVID-19 within the Chinese Republic, and some of them were to do with social distancing. And according to the PS, they say, according to some Africans, how they like to put up in those foreign countries, they leave many, and those were some of the concerns by the Chinese authorities, and by breaking those rules they could have found themselves under a humanitarian crisis. That notwithstanding, Kenya is saying that this is a matter of concern. They're looking into that situation. They are also saying that those who have been stranded in India and other parts of the world should be just a little bit patient and wait a little longer for the curfews and the no-flight restrictions to be lifted for them to make travel arrangements back into the country. But this is not all doom and gloom, Mijungu. They are reporting that there are some Kenyans who are recovering from COVID-19. They have reported 3 who have recovered in Rwanda. 1 is recovering in Qatar and various other parts of the world. However, there are some students, about 200 of them, who are stranded in Iran. They were studying there in university. We have 18 foreigners, Kenyans included, who are stranded in Australia as well as other parts of the world. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says they have not been quiet. Kenyans just need to be a little bit more patient with them. They are doing the best they can under the circumstances that COVID-19 has put them under, but their main concern is to ensure that Kenyans are safe, they are well fed, and they are capable of living to see another day wherever they are across the globe.